If I knew back then what I know now, if I knew the what, the when, the why, and the how, then I wouldn't have let fear hold me back when I was growing up. You see, there's so many things that can be related to fear, and there's so many parameters to fear. And one of the hallmarks of fear is that it can paralyze and it can immobilize you, almost like a rabbit caught in headlights. And when fear paralyzes and immobilizes you, you're not able to do anything, and life can pass you by. Fear can also cause self-doubt. And when fear causes self-doubt, you don't believe in yourself, and then you believe you have to do everything to satisfy other people. Fear can also cause people to think and overthink things, leading to a situation called analysis paralysis. So that every time there's a problem, you analyze the problem, and when you think you found a solution, because of fear, you find a fault in the solution, and you go all over again. And this can sometimes lead to the fear of failure, because you don't want to fail, therefore you do not even begin, and you're stuck. And sometimes fear can also lead to the fear of success, because you think, if I succeed, then what next? But it's actually easy to break out of the cycle of fear. And one of the ways of trying to break out of the cycle of fear is to discover oneself, is to discover one's purpose in life, and to discover the gifting that one has. And if one knows what their purpose is, if one knows what their gifting is, if one truly discovers who they are, then they will realize that the world needs them more than they do need the world. In addition to discovering who you are, it's also important to discover whose you are, but that's a separate topic for another day. But in discovering who I was, I actually realized that I had a lot more on the inside of me than I was letting out. I actually realized that once I started to flourish, there was a lot of things I had on the inside of me that people wanted, that I was holding back. I was always going to people trying to see what they have to offer me, but actually I have a lot more to give than people have to give me. So it's quite important that when one looks at oneself, one needs to realize that we have a lot of potential in us, and that potential can be turned from being potential, which is static, into something that is dynamic. And in terms of trying to discover yourself, it's also important that one has people around themselves that can support them, that believe in them, that share their hopes, their aspiration, and their vision. People that come high or low, come noon or midnight, they will always be there to support you and to guide you. People that you don't have to think about, but you know that they've always got your back. And those are the kind of people that helps one to flourish. And I have a few such people in my life that believe in me, that no matter what I'm going through, they always say to me, you can do it, you know you can do it, just go on and do it. And ever since I've come out of the cycle of fear, I've been able to flourish, I've been able to prosper, and I've been able to strut my territory. So it's important that one does not let fear take hold of them. So if I knew back then what I know now, I wouldn't let fear play on my mind.